before I'm going to open my stuff. Let me check CCNA labs. Come here. We're in CCNA 3. And quick summary. I hope it's this one. I don't think so. We are in no. You guys, it's CCNA 2. So I close all these. In CCNA 2, open CCNA 2. And go down. So do you have any questions, guys? So don't forget on Friday, the 20th, we will all meet at Scalabrini. So any questions you have, something you don't understand, something you don't know how, I'll be there to help you, and we'll also try to do 2 or 3 labs. So we are waiting for Enoch because he's going to ask Scalabrini if we can install Packet Tracer on VPCs. If yes, then 1 sec. Then we'll install Packet Tracer on the PCs and we'll be using them. But anyway, if you think it's safe for you to come with your laptop, please come. If not safe, leave it there. So Friday, the 20th of September, from 8:30 till 11:30 or 12. So please eat well, bring some snacks if you want to, because we're going to study a lot. So for our course, we did basic device configuration. Am I recording? Yeah. So we did a basic device configuration. It was a revision for CCNA, how to configure username, host name, and all this stuff. Now, because this CCNA 2 is based on switching, routing, and wireless, for now we are busy with switching. Anything related to a switch, like store and forward, how the MAC address table is built, and the VLANs, inter-VLAN routing. So your exam is activated, so please do it. STP, spanning 3 protocols. If you interconnect many switches, how are they going to elect the big boss, the root bridge, and to allow communications? Now, another switch technology is called Ether channel. After that, your exam also is activated. There is no rush. Take your exam when you can. I did explain to Enoch that CCNA is not like IT Essentials where we have chapter per exam per chapter. No. See here, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, only one exam combined. Chapter 5, 6, one exam combined. So, but don't forget, at least every weekend, try to do one exam every weekend so that you won't be left with a lot of exams. So every weekend, try to do one. So Ether channel is another technology that we face with switch. So what can I say with the switch? Let me check my stuff here. CCNA notes. We did the VLAN, basic config. So you know now what is a VLAN, how to configure it, trunk port. I made a video online. To allow communication between VLANs. So on that Friday, I'll bring the same labs we did, the same thing we're going to repeat again. So please try to attend. And before that, I'll send you the list of labs we're going to do together. Yeah, so that we all know what to do. So that you can also prepare by your side. And any issues you have, we're going to help you. STP, we did the STP. So today will be something called Ether channel. That's what I'm checking. Yeah, Ether channel. So in Ether channel, we're going to check the definition. What is Ether channel? Some benefit. What is port channel? And what two protocols we're going to use to create a Ether channel port. So we have a choice between PAGP and LACP. When you choose them, if you choose PAGP, you have some modes: on, desirable, and auto. If you use LACP, you have some modes. It's very simple, very, very simple. And we'll do a config, then we're going to verify. So Ether channel is very simple. I'm going to show you a picture. This is a picture. I have a switch here, and I have another switch somewhere. So for example, I copy this, and I copy it, and I paste it here. So we have two switches. And so let's say I have only 1 meg of link, and I want to get it bigger to make it, for example, 10 meg. So how do you do? You're going to combine physical ports in one logical port. So if here, for example, is 1 meg, 1 meg, 1 meg, 1 meg, and I have 6 here, if I combine all of them in one logical port, now I have 6 meg. I do the same thing here. That's all for Ether channel. It's just Ether channel is just to it's a link aggregation technology that groups multiple physical Ether channel into one single logical. And it's used for what? To increase the bandwidth. Fault tolerance. It means if I group 6, if inside that 6, 2 are faulty, the switch can still work. Load sharing, redundancy, that are you cannot use port 1, you skip, you go to port 10 to combine. No, it must be the same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. It should be continuous, and you can group them in one logical port. You can also configure this one in one logical port. So if you do on this switch, this should be the same here. The same switches, same port, same speed. It will be the same. If it's not the same, it won't work. Everything should be the same. Then that logical port will get connected to this logical port. This logical port will get connected to this logical port. That's all for Ether channel. It's a technology on a switch to group physical ports in one logical port to increase the bandwidth. Finished. We are done for this chapter. Anything else is more info. So please check this definition and we continue. Mm. Let me check. It seems like someone want to connect. What is someone want to connect? No. Okay, Sangani, you're in already. No problem. Okay, we continue, guys. So for CCNA 2, you should know how to configure all of these things, especially here we are here, Ether channel. So we are almost done. GSCP version 4 is a very short chapter. Anything else is very short. The only good thing is the routing. Wireless, it's only theory, some videos only. You can only watch the videos. How to configure, if you work, for example, for MTN, and we want you to go install a client router at home, they'll show you the list how to configure the device. So we'll do a demo, so in a video. So Wi-Fi is not difficult. You just follow the steps. A bit of security and routing. So we are almost done. Normally by end of this month, even before, we should be finishing. It seems big, a lot of chapters, but we are very short. So that's all for Ether channel. What else? So we know that is to combine, but now how to do it practically. So this is also Ether channel stuff. You can also have a look and we continue. Okay, so when I combine all these physical ports in one port, I get what we call a port channel, a virtual interface. So we do Ether channel to mostly to increase bandwidth and redundancy. It means I combine many. If one fails inside, the link is still working because, yeah, this is how it works. Now we have, if you need to configure, we have a choice between two protocols, PAGP, it's mostly for Cisco devices, or LACP, it's open to anyone. So you can also check here, then we continue. Okay, we continue. Now we'll see how to configure. Now that we know the definition, how it works, how are we going to configure? So we have a choice between two protocols, PAGP. PAGP is mostly for Cisco, device to Cisco device. And we have also LACP to open to any other devices. So if you use PAGP to configure, I'm on switch 1 here. I'm on switch 2. I'm going to combine the same port, and create one logical virtual port. So when we do in the config, somewhere we'll get configure the mode. So we can use mode on, desirable, or auto. We have a choice between on, desirable, and auto. If you want your Ether channel to be successful, you see yes. It means if mode on switch 1 is on, mode you select on switch 2, Ether channel will get formed. So be careful when you choose your mode, Ether channel will get formed or not. if you use on switch 1 mode on, switch 2 mode on, Ether channel will get formed. And you see, so please check this table, it's very important. Okay, so we'll check a demo. So when you use PHP, this is the mode on, desirable, or auto. Mode. And be careful on switch 1, you select a mode, switch 2, select the correct mode for Ether channel to get formed. Now we're going to do a, so when you combine your ports, you must all be the same. So if you cannot combine fast Ethernet, gig, and fiber, no. Either they're all fast Ethernet or they're all gig Ethernet. So all the ports you want to combine should be the same. You can combine a maximum of 8 ports, not 10 or 20. No. If you want to group ports, you can do a maximum of 8 ports. You can do a maximum of 8 ports. And how many Ether channel you can get on a switch? A maximum of 6. If I group port 1, 2, 3, 4 in one group, then I combine another group. So you can have a maximum of 6 groups per switch. So please check this one, it's very important. Then we'll do some configs and we are done. Very simple. So check this. If you have any questions, unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay, so it's very important. Now, when it comes to configurations, so if the speed should be the same, the VLAN should be the same. So anything you do should be same. You must not mix. So we're going to do an example. So if you need to configure, for example, the speed 1 gig, 1 gig, duplex full, VLAN 10, you see. So when you combine some port, everything should be the same here on S1, the same thing on S2. Sometimes students will complain it doesn't work because there is something wrong you did. If you do properly, everything should be there. So now let's do a quick config, very simple. So on Friday the 20th, at Scalabrini, we'll do one lab. I'll send you the lab number that we did already. One for VLAN, one for EC channel, and another one that we'll do a bit later. So we'll do 3 labs on that day. That one, it's 3 hours. So please eat well, bring some drinks if you can. If Scalabrini offer us some stuff, it's fine, but yeah. So let's do an example of LACP. So first thing first, interface range fast Ethernet. So what you want to group? I want to group port 1 and port 2. That's the first thing first. Then, if you group them, channel group, you add a number, group 1, and to identify this. Because if you have 3 groups, you group. So let's say if you have 3 groups, you must identify your groups. So if I combine port 1 and 2, I'm going to call it group 1. If later on my same switch, I combine port 5, 6, 7, it's another group. I can call it group 2, and so on. So if a channel group, 1, mode, you see the mode. You must select your mode. You see, here's LACP, your mode. Be careful. You go to LACP, you see the mode. So what did we choose here? Active. So LACP, here I choose active on S1. If I want Ether channel to get formed, I need to use also active on switch 2. So active, then Ether channel will get formed. Or you can use active and passive on switch 2. So be careful on the mode. So group channel 1, mode active. When you do that, automatically you'll see a message to say, okay, port 1 and port 2 have been created, and now it's only one port, one logical port, one virtual port. The name of that new port is port channel 1. So you group physical port in one logical port. When you finish grouping, you exit. Now you go to interface port channel 1, you see. Normally it's interface VLAN 1 or interface G01. No. Now it's interface port channel 1 because of you grouped physical port in one new logical port to interface port channel 1. Switch port mode trunk if you have VLAN configured, and switch port trunk allow these VLANs. That's all. So if you have VLAN configured, you specify the VLANs here. So we have 2 parts. You group your stuff, you choose your mode, a virtual port will be created. Number 2, you go to that new port and specify this. That's all for this chapter. Anything else you have to do is to read, to study. Then we're going to do a lot of labs for that. So please check that and we continue. After you configure this on switch 1, you must configure the same on switch 2, exactly the same. Now, to verify what you did, show interface port channel or show Ether channel summary. You see, so we have new comments here. So you can also have a look on them. So this example is for LACP. We can it will be same thing if you do PAGP. The only thing that changes it only the mode. So if you see for instance show interface port channel 1, you'll see show ether channel summary. It will show here down here group 1. It means if you group port 1, 2, 3, 4 in one group, and you call it group 1, it will show you group 1. This is the name of the virtual port, EO1. If you see SU, you come here, S for layer 2, U for in use. It means the port is in use. Which protocol you use to create your Ether channel? I use LACP. What are the ports you combine to create one virtual port? I did combine port 1 and port 2. If you see P, it means big bundle in port channel. So I did group port 1 and port 2. So that's all for Ether channel. I'm going to do a quick demo and we are done for today. So I'm going to open my packet tracer. I'm going to do a quick demo. That's why if you say you put CCNA on your CV, it's open a lot of doors. People have respect for you because we learn a lot of stuff. It's the real IT. IT Essentials, it was to welcoming you. Now we do the real IT. So after this course, you can also do and take the exam. If you didn't do well, you want to retake, you tell me, I'm going to activate again for you. Chapter 7 and 8, they are very simple, very short. You can combine them. This one is quite interesting. LAN security is also very good and short also. Switch security. After that, some wireless, it's only online. If we do some demo, we can spend only 1 day on that. Then routing, 2 days and we are done. Make things simple. But you by your side, study at least 2 hours per day, at least. So this is my, so remember, Ether channel, it's only on a switch, not on a router. It's a switch technology. So I have a switch here, and I'm going to bring another one there. And I'm going to create a here, and I'm going to create another one port. So now you see why it's not. Okay, so you can see port 1 and port 2 now. So I'm going to combine them. Ether channel with LACP. So this is what we are doing now. So I open my first switch. Press enter, enable conft. So first thing first, I need to group the port. What port am I going to group? Port 1 and port 2. So interface range SA01 to 2. Be careful of the name of the port. Here, you can see FA02. So it's exactly the name of the port that you use. So FA01 and FN02, I'm combining them. Now, channel group, I'm going to say, okay, group 1. You can say group 2, group 3, it's up to you. But group 1, now the mode. You see, because I'm using LACP, I have a choice between active, auto, and on. So let's go back to our stuff. For LACP, I'm going to choose on switch 1 and on switch 2 for Ether channel to happen. So I'm going to put on, mode on. So as soon as you say port, it's going to say, okay, port, the physical port has been merged in one logical port. This is the name of a new port. Then you go to that port, you exit, interface, you go to that new port, and switch ports, the same thing like we did for VLAN, but this one is a trunk port, and switch port mode, trunk. You see, switch port trunk allow VLAN. So let's say I have VLAN A, B, C, D. So let's say VLAN 10, 20, for example. And you are done. Identify the port you're going to group, give a name to that group, select the correct mode. Then a port will be created, a virtual one, a logical one. So you select your port first, you want to combine. You add a name to or a number to that group. You select your mode. When you are done, the system will tell you, okay, I did create this new port. Port channel 1, for example. When you are done, you go to that interface now, interface port. Switch port mode trunk. Switch port, and you are done. Do, copy, run, start. And show Ether channel summary, press enter. The name of my group is 1. I have a new port. I need to combine these guys, but I have a problem. It's not finished. We need to go to switch 2 to do the same thing first. Then we go to switch 2. We do the same thing there. Enable, conf host name S2, interface range FA0122, channel group 1, the same, must not change, mode on for Ether channel to get formed. You see, I have a new port, a new virtual port, port 1, port channel 1. I exit. I go to that port interface. Switch port mode trunk. Switch port. Switch port trunk allow, let's say VLAN 10, 20. If we created VLAN 10 and 20, so here it's just a demo. That's all. You finish and do, and you can copy, run start to save. Then show Ether channel summary. So here the packet tracer didn't specify, but normally here it should specify the LACP and the other info. Let me check again. Center. Normally it should show, so number of ether channel groups in use, only one group, and the name of the number is 1. See? And I have some information here. So it's very simple. This is how we do. So in EtherCAD, you'll see the same thing there. So let me go there. I open chapter 6. Why should I take this course? This ether channel, very important. See, we have 2 protocols. So what are you going to learn? Definition, how to configure and troubleshoot. If it doesn't work, how to fix. You see. So exactly, I did teach you it. So now, when you come here, it will be easier for you to understand. It will be easier for you to understand. And you have your quiz and other info. Now, when it comes to the configurations, some guidelines, and so you see here, this one, 1 gig, duplex, half duplex, here's full, it won't form. Everything should be the same. And you have your example, the same thing we did. But we'll have a packet tracer when we did everything will show up properly. And you have your packet tracer that you can download and do. And you have a summary. So that's all for each channel. If you have any questions, please feel free. I'm going to download the recording and upload in YouTube also, so that if you want to watch again, you can do so. Any questions? Okay, so guys, that's all for this chapter. So study well. I'll check on Friday if Saturday we can have a quick class, but I'll check. I'll let you know latest Friday. No, it's not this one. So please study minimum 2 hours per day. You'll be fine. If you have any questions, any issues, let me know. I'm here to help. And don't forget, Friday the 20th, we meet at not this Friday, the 20th of September. So tomorrow I'll check soon in the morning if we can meet Saturday 10 o'clock to 11, a quick one, or maybe we can just go to Monday. So I'll let you know tomorrow late this afternoon. Okay, guys, thank you very much for attending. If no questions, I wish you a good evening, study well, and we'll meet later. Thank you.